Final community. Guess who? Mr. Bizzarro here with you once again. I've got a couple things I'd like to talk about before I get started. I've got some recent acquisitions I want to show you. But what I'd like to talk about real quick is the technical aspect of your turntable. Setup, proper tone arm balance, anti-skating settings, proper pitch on the stylus in relation to the position it is on the LP. There's quite a bit to it. I mean, once you do it a few times, or you initially set it up, you're pretty much okay. But for me, I completely forgot about it. So when it did strike me that something was a bit wrong, my left channel would drop a bit lower than the other, and then midway through, the opposite would happen. The other channel would drop, and the previous channel would come back in. So I just found out. I found the specs I needed to find. I set the balance on my tone arm. I set the anti-skate, and I set the proper pitch on the stylus. And I got to tell you, it made a world of difference. I don't know if things got out of whack during a move, or possibly something like that. But either way, it was night and day. It was just an amazing transformation. What do you know about your turntable? What do you know about your settings? I have a 1980 Techniques direct drive and SL model, and it's just been great for a lot of years. Also, what are your thoughts on belt driven to direct drive? I hear a lot of audiophiles, a lot of serious lovers of music prefer a belt driven, but for me, I just don't want to have to deal with replacing a belt every 5 years or so. And from what I understand and what I know through experience, direct drive really doesn't degrade any more than a belt does. So what are your settings on your turntable? What do you need to do? Are you just setting your tone arm weight and anti-skating, or are there other things that you need to do to set up your turntable? Let me know. I'm interested. I'd like to show you some recent acquisitions. Not too many, only 5 here today, but it is there's some cool things I found, and quite a good price on these as well, so I had to pick them up. By the way, in the background, Johnny Winter, second winner. By the way, you need a blank LP to set your anti-skate on your turntable. And the one thing I did find out today from another electronics buff on YouTube is an album that I owned already had a fourth side that was blank, and that is Second Winter. Second Winter's fourth side is a blank. So therefore, I didn't need to go track down a blank to use to set up my anti-skating. So really cool. YouTube is just, we've got to the age now in technology to where there really is no question that can be unanswered at this point. The keystroke will find you the information you need, and I think it's just the best. Okay, here we go. The first one I picked up, I picked this up again in a local shop. This isn't a thrift store, this is a record store / CD store, and this is one I picked up. Iron Butterfly, ball. I have a few other Iron Butterfly albums. I have a great live one, of course. You have In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, and Heavy as well. But for $1, it had to be misplaced, because I saw it in a bin on top, and it was the same condition, and it was $5. So somebody mismarked it, and thank you for mismarking that. The next one I have is I'm not a super huge fan of this entire album. It gets a little soft and quiet for me. But again, for $1, I picked it up and added it to the collection because I have quite a few of these other ones. I believe I might have 4. I think I have 4 or 5 other LPs by this band. The Moody Blue. blues in search of the lost chord. And the one thing that's always struck me with this album was the artwork. So, you know, Timothy Leary, that tune on here is Timothy Leary's dad, and, you know, some other stuff like that. So I picked it up. $1. $1. And again, you can't. How are you going to turn that down for $1? Again, the vinyl on these are VG to EX plus. So for one bean, how are you going to say no? Quite a few people showed this one, and rightly so, because it's a great album. Slightly, arguably, their best release. And Santana, Abraxas. They like their exotic naked women, man. Again, it's not, the cover's not in that great a condition, just like the Iron Butterfly. It's not, I wouldn't call the jacket collector's grade, but the vinyl is in great shape. It's just a little bit of dust on it. I de-staticked it, and all the dust fell off. It wasn't dirty, just a little bit dusty. Again, another $1. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna buy it. I mean, that's what I would do. What would you do? What would you do? Okay. I found the pair of these, and I have, again, I believe three other releases by this band. The condition they were in, and the price was more. So I had to pick them up anyway because they were in amazing shape. Traffic. School out at the Fantasy Factory. Really great condition. Really great condition. Nice. $5. And here's the 5th one in my recent acquisitions. Another Traffic. The Low Spark of High-Heeled Boys. Another really good condition. Even the jacket's great on these. Obviously the vinyl is even better than the jacket. So that's it as far as that's concerned. I did find out some information from a very, very old gentleman that I met at the local record store this past Wednesday. He's actually the guy that reconstituted some of these old memories, like proper tone arm settings, and he also mentioned that I needed a blank to set the anti-skate, which I don't think I've ever had. I just kind of winged it in the past. But, this guy was a wealth of information. I was done shopping, and I stayed in there just to talk to him for another 15 or 20 minutes about the technical portion of it. And he gave me some really good information. One thing I'm going to say is I see quite a few people showing what they call promos. Of course, this is not an example, because this is how it was released with these corners cut. I see people showing them, and I believe they're under the impression that the vinyl, because it has a clipped corner, means it's a promo, which it's not. It's not a promo copy. Neither is a punch, and neither is a cut. Anything that alters the cover in any way is not a promotional copy. My understanding, and this is how he explained it to me, is when the albums were released and sent out to individual stores and outlets and things like that, if they didn't sell well, they would eventually be returned to the company. The company would then alter the covers to show that they weren't a high seller, and then mark them down, resend them out to the stores with clipped corners and punches and a slice in there, like a saw kind of cut, sliced into the side. But again, it's not because it's a promotional copy. It's because it didn't sell well. They had to adjust the price and return them to the record shops again as a new lower price. I went online and I did do some reading about it, and it definitely backed up his what he was telling me about the situation with the cutoffs. So, am I 100% sure about it? No, but it seems to make sense. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say at this time. I'm heading out tomorrow, Sunday morning. I'm going to go to the local farmers market in my state. I'm going to meet up with a friend of mine, actually the aforementioned Joe Paulie Walnuts 86, the young man I recently told you I had met in the thrift store. We're going to meet up tomorrow and hit a couple shops in the farmers market, and also hope that I find some vendors outside. Although where I'm at now, we're in the low 40s, maybe mid 40s. So I don't know if anyone's really going to be outside. So that's about it. Vinyl community, you guys are great, man. Continue your posts, and you're all doing a great job. It's good to know you all, and it's great to share my thoughts and my views and my collection, a lover of music, whatever you want to call it. Take care, everyone. I'm going to go back to posting portions of my LP collection, my next post. So we'll get back to that, and hopefully early next week I'll put up another one, and if all goes well tomorrow, I'll have some recent acquisitions to show you. So if you don't have a blank to test to adjust your anti-skate, go pick up Johnny Winter, Second Winter. You can get it for a few bucks in really good condition, and you kill two birds with one stone. You get an amazingly awesome album, because that's what we're listening to. By the way, this is my first post, and I'm actually posting during an LP play. So this is actual turntable that's going on right now. I'm going through my Pioneer receiver, 1980, I believe it's late 80 or early 81 Techniques direct drive and SL. And I have a pair of, down here you can't see them, but I have a pair of 1968 Harman Kardon tabletop speakers. And they're omnidirectional. The speaker actually sets in the top, and there's a conical piece of foam in there that directs the sound out. So you get sound coming from all four directions, not straight out at you, but actually straight up and out, kind of like the way a flower will bloom. And man, they just work so great. I had an old Fisher 68C C5, I believe it was a C500 tube, but it started to get a little long in the tooth, so I still have it in the closet. But I picked up the Pioneer. It does a great job. It does. I use an external preamp. I don't like internal preamps, and I definitely don't like preamps built into the turntable. They're just horrible. So that's about it. I noticed a lot of you guys already did a little bit of a tour of your audio equipment. If you didn't, let me see, and if you did, I'll see what I can do about tracking your clip down and checking it out myself. Vinyl community, Mr. Bizzarro signing out, and let me tell you, if you don't know, learn.